Yeah, and we are back.
Oi.
Yes, welcome back, people. We are back, and welcome to another episode of Do You Still Watch Wrestling? I'll be your host and presenter, Dashiki Dash, and you know I'm in the cut with my boy. Put that away, man. Put that away. My boy, fresh in the land of the clover leaf, Canada. Kojo is in the building.
Come on. I have to show that for anyone that's watching this that supports Liverpool. I don't need to forget. You know what I mean? Certain some of my man them doing podcasts, doing hashtag means less because apparently they're going for a title, so the FA Cup means less. But you're celebrating a half time because you thought job done. Hey man, I'm here. You think I've gone to another country for 2 weeks? I'm gonna forget? No.
Even though it's an international break, you still got the smoke for them. I see it.
We're gonna cook them. Man.
Oh man.
Good, man. What are you saying?
I'm good, my bro. I just come off a work meeting, and just like it was dragging. In the back of my mind, I knew even like I was switching off my camera, setting up the graphics, setting up all the ticker for what we're going to be discussing. And then one of the flipping managers there trying to say, "Oh, are you sleeping?" I'm like, "No, man, I'm doing other work, man."
You sleeping? What kind of question is that?
I'm like, "No, man, I wish I'm doing other work right now." But yeah, man, I'm good. Apart from that, good. Another week of wrestling has gone by. For guys that have obviously tuned back in, thank you very much for tuning back in. You're welcome. For those that are just watching for the first time, Do You Still Watch Wrestling? It's a podcast that me and Kojo run based on just giving you all the rundowns, recaps of wrestling, WWE most dominantly and prominently. Shamelessly over here, we are the WWE fans. We speak about AEW and all other factions, but mainly WWE. Just a bit of housekeeping as well. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Press the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of our shows. We'll be recapping everything WWE, and it's been a good week, man. Good week. But before we get into everything, you're in the land of the clover leaf.
Come on.
Oh, Canada. What better way to start off, man? Canada. Like for you, in terms of like wrestlers, what's the best? Who's the best Canadian wrestler?
Oh, if you're talking about just pure technical excellence, then it probably has to be, Bret Hart, innit?
The excellence of execution.
Facts.
The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
Hey, come on, bars. But he was sensational stuff. So you have to do that. But if you're talking about who's my most favorite Canadian wrestler? What am I kidding, man? It's the rated R superstar. It is.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. Edge, by the way. I respect him. I respect his government name. But listen, it's
Adam
Edge.
Copeland.
Yeah, man.
Oh my God, it's Adam Copeland.
Adam Copeland. I respect his government name, but listen, it's Edge for me, man. No, that guy. I'll put it to you like this: anyone that's watching, this is my example of the kind of person that I am. I liked him after his scandal that made me heel.
Okay. That was it.
There you go.
The master of opportunists.
Yes. Shout out Matt Hardy and Leah. But
do you know what? Yeah, I'm good that even you mentioned that. I was watching when you just go into these YouTube wormholes of watching videos back to back. Anyway, so I come across a video with Lita. Lita's on a podcast, and Matt Hardy calls in, and basically he's pouring out his heart. I'm sure it's an old podcast, but he's pouring out his heart, saying that basically he wanted answers. He's just like, yo, like, why did you leave me for Edge? And like, she weren't really trying to answer the question, and then Matt Hardy's like, yeah, I hear all of that, but like, why did you leave me like for him? And she's just like, no, it's not really a question to answer. Like, it's not something I need to give you an answer for. But it's just like, yeah, but you at least owe me that. you know, we were together, da 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 da. And then basically she just said, listen, in a blunt way, he was boring. And the fact that he was bringing in their personal stuff into the storylines. So, you know, like the promos and stuff like that. And then she was just like, maybe it had to do largely with the fact that you kept bringing our personal life into the promos. And it's like, and he's like, well, it's the only way I can kind of get through to you to make you understand how much I felt about you. Like, you know, I'm like, right, my man out here was pining for
Damn,
Lee. Had these guys on in a chokehold.
bro. Can't lie. Can't lie. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
With the thongs showing as well.
I ain't doing any of that. Forget that, man. What the hell was that about, man? I ain't doing any of that, man. You're going in front of a live audience on Monday Night Raw every week, coming to do love stories, bro. You're a wrestler, man.
Love story. He
Come and
was
do your promo and get out, man. What are you talking about? Coming to do? If you want to tell her that you love her, take her out, man. For God's.
in his own words. In his own words, delete.
Delete
Oh
that
my
whole
days.
catalog, man. Forget that ever happened, man. What are you doing? What are you doing, man? God.
Was Lee is Lee a Canadian? Lee is not Canadian, is she?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, boy, that was a mad. Yeah, and now you know what? Edge is definitely up there in terms of like Canadian wrestlers. For me, it was always Bret Hart. I grew up a Bret Hart fan. I was the ones that was still trying to make his homemade glasses because he used to hand it over. But I'll put Owen Hart in there as well. Because I felt like Owen Hart was just as technical as Bret Hart, just as good as Bret Hart, and obviously his untimely demise and his passing, he was getting into his own in terms of obviously stepping away from Bret Hart's shadow, which I felt like he did anyway. But in terms of like character development, there was so much more for Owen Hart to touch on, especially when he went into the Nation as well. And he became, you know, a member of the Nation of Domination. He added he added another dynamic to his character, but it was just so sad, obviously, in terms of his passing. But yeah, he would definitely be one of you know, the Canadian wrestlers. When are we forgetting Chris Jericho?
I'm not forgetting Chris Jericho, but the reason why I haven't mentioned him is because I feel like there was a time period for him to stop, and he's still going, and I don't want him to. I'm just being very honest. I'm just being very honest, man. I'm just being very honest. There was a time period for him to stop, and he's still going. And sometimes you just need to call it a day, man. Yeah, you went to London last year. You had a great match. You even did a live performance. After that, sometimes you just gotta be like, hey, you know what? There's nothing left for me here, man. It's done.
Do you think that there isn't one last stint for Jericho in WWE?
They should not even consider it. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow.
They don't need them. They don't need them. I keep saying this about him and even some of their new guys, the younger guys. They're in a position right now where they're developing some of their own guys right now and actually giving compelling storylines. Where do you fit him in and for what reason? You know what I mean? What's the focus? If it's a young guy, like if it's a, I don't know, who's that guy that they didn't sign? Osprey, for example. That's different because you can build something in the future with him. Plus, he's had beef with Seth Rollins on socials before. So it's something there. With Chris Jericho, what's left? What, he's going to come back and look at Kevin Owens' face again? Ooh. What are we doing, man?
Break the walls down.
Oh, it's a banger. It's a banger, but we can hear it on YouTube now, man. Bro, we don't need to hear it on the show anymore, man. Get your Hall of Fame ring and call it a day, man. It's good. I love the guy as well. I rate him so highly. Obviously, there's been some recent news about him it's alleged, so I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna go any further on that. But yeah, man, no, I think it's time to call it a day, man. I'll put it to you like this: until he calls it a day, I'm gonna put Christian Cage and Trish Stratus above him. Until he calls it a day, he's gonna have to hold that. He's gonna have to hold that. Sorry, man. And there's nothing. That's what
charisma.
Them men are wavy, but I know Chris Jericho's supposed to be a bigger legend. But until you hang up the boots, bro, they're above you, man. Hold it.
Captain Charisma, man. Christian, I love these WWE theme song as well. Obviously, you had Edge and Christian in WWE, part of the Brood. That was the best period of time for me when they were part of the Brood. But yeah, man, there's been so many Canadian wrestlers, but I would agree with you. I think Bret Hart will probably stand out as the overall, best for me. I don't know. You said what do you say, Edge, or you said
I said Edge is my overall, like, if you're talking about overall favorite slash overall package, just
yeah,
because not that Bret Hart didn't play a heel and a face very well. He was fantastic at that. So I'm not saying that he wasn't total package either, but I'm just saying I feel like Edge, just for me anyway, just personal preference. I think he was a better overall package for me. That's just my personal preference. But if you're talking about better wrestler, it's Bret Hart all day.
yeah.
It's Bret Hart all day.
But
And I think
who would who would you say flew the flag best for Canada?
Bret Hart.
Yeah.
Bret Hart, yeah.
He's the one from Alberta, Canada.
Hey, see, this is why I love wrestling, you know. That's why I love wrestling, because I grew up learning about states and
Yeah,
cities in Canada through wrestling.
wrestling. Yeah,
From Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. I was like, wait, where's Winnipeg? I don't know where that is. I've never heard of that before. But I know
from
where it is now.
Wisconsin.
Bruv, I thought it was Toronto, Canada. I didn't know it was Toronto, Ontario, Canada. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's what
you
I'm
learn.
saying. Yeah,
You learn, man. So yeah, man. Shout out them,
from
man.
Death Valley. Even though Undertaker weren't really from there, but
Death Valley.
oh man, shout out to all the Canadian wrestlers out there. Obviously, Kojo, your Canada stateside there. Let's move on, man, to the agenda of the day. We've got obviously the Rock concert and the Rock disses Momma Rhodes. This was literally like the war of words, because then Cody Rhodes, that was SmackDown for the Rock, and then on Raw episode, Cody Rhodes comes back to clap back at the Rock. I think he's spitting some good promos at the moment, and that's probably the Rock bringing that heat for all of these wrestlers. And then yeah, man, it's just the competitiveness as we're seeing right now, the levels that the Rock is bringing. You can see the likes of Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins bringing that heat, bringing those promos. Whether we're seeing a slight shift in them moving away from the PG, because there's a lot of effing and blinding at the moment that's going on. So it's definitely heating up. Let's start off with the Rock concert. Talk to me, man. Talk to me about the Rock. Bringing back the Rock concert on SmackDown.
I knew that firstly, I'm going to say this because it's still great, but I'm going to say this. It would never, ever, ever again be like the one from, what's it called? Sacramento. It will never be one like that, because that one, in that era, you could get away with so much more. You know what I mean? So, and even that one wasn't even crude. It was just the way he was spitting bars was insane. But that being said, this one was just, it was very straight and direct to the point. It was basically everything that he said in the last couple of weeks that he's put into a concert, about Cody being a mistake and all that. But I'll tell you the bit that hit me. It wasn't even more so the point about him singing songs. What got me? Yeah, let me see what got me. Yeah, when he said what he's gonna do to Cody Rhodes with the belt and give it to his mum, yeah, and then he sang the bars from Moana.
What can I say?
Whoa, with a smile.
That was cold. That was cold. I love that bit. Yeah,
that bit threw me, because he was very graphic,
close to the camera as well,
bro. I want you to understand here a very cold, graphic description of what he was gonna do with the belt, and then give a bloody, sweaty belt to his mum, saying that's the only belt that you're gonna carry for this family. It's not gonna be no wrestling title or anything like that. And then to sing that bar at the end, yeah, man, you're cooking.
Yeah, I think the Rock, like, what I like about the Rock's return right now is it is a level raiser, like in the sense that you can see that these guys, if you want to, despite what anybody might think, oh, it's a bit outdated the way The Rock is snapping on a mic and Rare Tech. This is The Rock. Like, if you don't know about what The Rock's about, this is what he's about in it. He's the mic guy. He's been away from wrestling for a while, so you're gonna have to kind of accustom, but this is what we traditionally used to. But what it's showing for the other guys, where you thought you was good on the mic until someone comes and shows you what being good on the mic's about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So someone like Cody Rhodes, where he's coming, I'm out here tonight. What should we talk about? All of that kind of stuff. And you're gonna see, like, when you're snapping back and forth with somebody that can snap on the mic, you have to raise your level. And that's what I like. But I like the concept because he done the jokey stuff. He showed you how he can, mess around. And then when the concert was done, you saw the seriousness of the final boss.
Yes.
How are you feeling about this character right now? Because obviously we're gonna when this is all said and done, this is what we're gonna associate. This is what's gonna be this form of The Rock in it, the final boss. We've had the Hollywood Rock, we've had the Brahma Bull, we've had all of these different rocks, but this one we're categorizing it as the final boss. How are you finding it right now with The Rock?
No, I'm enjoying it. Thing is, I feel like he's kind of acclimatized and just said, you know what, the Hill Rock is, because when it was the original Hill Rock, it was still like very comedy a little bit, especially with the hamburger and the man there. So with this one, there's a very serious side to, what is this one doing here?
You had to jump from the top rope. From the top rope,
from the top rope, man.
Give you the stump.
Funny enough, true story. I was watching wrestling, and she walked in when Seth was doing the curb stomp. So now she walks around and just stomps her feet.
Oh my god! Don't try this at home, guys.
Do not try this at home. At least she's stomping on the floor. She's not stomping on people. So thank God. But yeah, there's a lot more seriousness to it, because when you listen to his content on the mic, and obviously I know there's been rumors of like people with backstage being annoyed that he can say a lot more. Even if he was so
speak on that.
Even if it was so called restricted, the idea is, if you listen to all the greats, basically, all they always say is, in that company, you're always going to be given some level of some type of script or some sort of direction. But what you do with it is your call. Because they can tell you bar for bar, but if you go out there and you spit some fire that's different and they hear it, they're like, okay, this is cold. They're gonna sell out and say, okay, go for it. It's not like when people go out there and literally break the rules to break the rules. Like this different. There's always gonna be leeway. They want to build stars. If they build more stars, they make more money, which means you make more money. Everybody wins. So you can think of it as, oh yeah, but this guy can do this guy can do that. Sometimes you gotta take a chance. You just gotta do it. You sink or swim. And if you go elsewhere and you become an even better wrestler, promo guy, whatever, the chances to bring you back. You've seen it with people like Drew McIntyre. You know what I mean? He went away and come back. So with the Rocky, like what he's doing now with his promos, they're a lot more serious. You will laugh here and there, but like it's because he's got a natural charisma about it. The natural charisma doesn't come easy. It is what it is. You just gotta hold that. Whether you like it or not, you just gotta hold that. He's got a natural charisma. If you don't have it, you don't have it. The person I keep putting in this when I talk about not having natural charisma for mic talk for me is Ricochet. And I always say this. What did I say last time? I said if Ricochet doesn't have bars, he doesn't get his woman. But it's different being.
I think with Ricochet it comes like if he was a heel, I think then different. I just think being a face is more difficult.
I hear that, but at the same time, I'm not asking you to go out there and like drop a promo that is generational. I'm asking you to go out there and drop a promo that just literally just turns heads and says, okay, because you can tell that when you look at his character and the way he just as a person, if you search for his social media, you can tell the guy's cool. He tells really cool. And when you hear him talk to people, you can tell he's really got it. But there's the difference between being yourself and being a wrestler. They always tell you to turn yourself up times 100. which is supposed to be, what's it called, larger than life. That's the idea. So that's why you buy someone like The Rock, because when you hear The Rock talk in person as a normal person, you will listen. But when he gets on the microphone in front of a crowd of people and he's trying to deliver a wrestling promo, he goes clear of that. It's times a million now. So now he's talking about himself in third person. He's not saying I said this. He's saying The Rock says this. You know what I mean? You can't copy that, but there's something there.
Yeah. The Rock has always been good at that.
Exactly.
The Rock says.
The final boss thing is interesting for me, bro, because I want to hear what you think as well. Can you be the final boss if you're not even the head of the table?
Well, this is what we're moving into. These are the territories that we're moving into, because it's like, if you're calling yourself exactly that, if you're calling yourself the final boss, what's Roman Reigns thinking of that? So this is what's going to be interesting in Smackdown, because for those obviously that keep up on a weekly basis, Smackdown is tonight, Friday. So you'll get to watch Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes face to face. The stipulation is the fact that there's going to be no bloodline, no other bloodline members, and Cody Rhodes, and they're going to obviously size each other face to face and have their own war words. So it's going to be interesting to see what Cody Rhodes says in regards to, like, well, The Rock's calling himself the final boss, but you're meant to be the head of the table. So that's the friction that we're waiting for. In terms of The Rock, you know what? I criticized him at the get-go, but it's more fool for me for not understanding the dynamics and what the process is when it comes to wrestling. Is that you need to take time, like, to expect The Rock just to come back and then just hit the ground running straight away is bad of me, because right now you can see he was coming in with the sweats, with the the sleeveless joints. Now he's coming with the Versace. Even though Cody Rhodes made a mistake and said it was Gucci, that ain't Gucci what he's wearing right there. That's Versace. So he's got that kind of the Attitude Era garms going. He's turned into a heel. Recognize that real quick. The music that I was getting onto, although I'm not completely happy with, they've gone back to the Hollywood rock. But I'm still thinking, where's Jim Johnston at, man? Can you not make up a new tune? But I'm gonna wait for that, because if I hear it fresh, I'm gonna be like, yes, this is what I'll be waiting for. The entrance is amazing. I'm loving the electricity, and then boom, the lights come on, and then you see The Rock. There's more swagger in the way he's walking down the ring right now. So it's all coming together. And to see how he's going to be feeling himself in this final boss role is going to be interesting, because the more that he believes that he is the final boss, not Roman Reigns, but he's the final boss, that's what's going to cause the friction between them. So slowly but surely, we're waiting for that. Cody Rhodes obviously goes to Raw, which is the following Monday. He lays his bomb. He lays down. He claps back at The Rock. How did you feel about his promo?
I knew he was about to spit hot fire when he didn't come and say, "So, what do you want to talk about?" He just said, "Okay, all right, let's just go." He said, "All right, let's go. Let's just go for this." And essentially, he just let loose. Because the thing is, let's be honest, bro. After the Rock's concert, you can't come and talk the way you talk. You have to come and deliver something different. You got no choice.
Exactly,
got no choice. And he stepped up to the plate. He said he still spoke his like very eloquent English, but then what was he said something about, I forgot what the two words that he used, but then he said, if you don't know what that means, I just called him a whiny bitch. Called him, had to say he has little dick syndrome. I was like, yo, the one that got me, Roman's side chick.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy because, with these promos and stuff, as you said, like with the little dick syndrome, it's like you don't really hear. I can't remember the last time I'm hearing dick on WWE, and so where The Rock's being saying bitch and F this and that and stuff like that. It's I almost was listening to him thinking to myself, you don't really want to go all the way with the profanity or the swear words, but it's just like little dick syndrome was just like enough for you to be like, let me hit hard with this.
Yeah. And when he mentioned Rocky's mum, thing is, he did that thing where, remember in school when people used to say your mum and it didn't really mean anything, but people just said it and you immediately get mad. Oh, your mum.
Your mom?
Excuse me?
What? What'd you say? You say about
My
mom?
My mum. Like, because I remember the only time I really clocked on to that being meaning nothing was when I think I was in year 6 and I got into like it wasn't even a fight, it was a boxing match with a guy called Mo. I don't know why we were fighting. But after our lesson, we decided to meet literally just outside the classroom, which is stupid because there's teachers everywhere. And we just started boxing each other. And then we went back up. We got caught by one of our teachers, shout out Mr. Biddle, and took us out. He goes, "What happened here?" So Mo said this part, and I was like, "Yeah," but so he said your mum, and he goes to me, and he said, "What does that mean?"
What does that mean? Yeah,
And
I got the same thing.
I sat there. I was like, I don't have an answer. Crap. I don't have an answer for this.
Went through the same thing.
I don't have an answer for this. I was like, oh, okay, damn, all right. And then it reminded me of when people say, oh, your mum. Oh, I saw your mum in bed. Like, what? Reading a book. Oh God. That's what Cody did. Cody goes, let's talk about your mum. Your mum's a nice lady.
Yeah. Triggering.
Like your mum. Like your was cool. She helped me beat up Kevin Owens in the dark match one time. Your was cool. Yeah. But
it's funny enough that you said that because it's like I got from Cody more in a sense, like not to say The Rock hasn't got more respect for Cody's mum, but maybe just in the dynamics, maybe The Rock's mum's been in and around the wrestling environment more than Cody's mum and stuff like that. So the appreciation that Cody had for The Rock's mum might be just slightly more than what The Rock has for Cody's mum, to the point where Cody really couldn't go all out to diss The Rock's mum. But it's just, I don't know if I got that right or not, but it was interesting. But the Cody had to, and this is what I was saying in terms of like the levels being raised by The Rock in regards to like building up a WrestleMania, like Road to WrestleMania. This is actually fitting to be better than last year's, despite the I need to finish the story and all that kind of stuff, which I'm sick and tired of. Like this line is getting on my nerves, man. Like I can't hide it.
Have you noticed that Cody's not really saying it as much anymore? Like I've been trying to listen to his promos with intent recently because I'm like, does he go out there and does he actively always say, I need to go and finish the story and get the title?
Nah, it's other people that are saying it for him.
And he only ever answers the question when he's asked it. Like when Michael Cole asked him about giving the title to his dad because his dad whatever, and he's like, look, I can't give it to my dad, but I can give it to my mom at least, isn't it? Which when The Rock mocked that as well, The Rock said, so I come out here and I speak about you the way I speak about you, and then you come and you slap my face, you find your balls and you slap my face, and The Rock's watching Raw and he's waiting to see what your biggest moment in your career, what are you gonna say about The Rock, and you start crying.
Cody's response, he couldn't respond if he's just like, it's one of them ones like, well, it's okay to cry, it's I got emotional, but it's like that's all you could do. Like, look who what it reminded me of? It's just like, look who I'm dealing with. Like, I'm out here spitting fire, getting onto you. And all you can do is just come out here and cry.
Like,
I'm wasting my time.
Bro.
Like, you can't win this title. That's how we've seen it. It's like, how can this guy be the champion?
He's like, Roman needs to be beat, but it can't be you, fam. It just can't be you. Because we're going to win the title and just cry in the middle of the ring. Guy here, man. What are you doing?
Do you know what it is as well, though? I'm not going to lie. Like, with the work that Roman's done, and I know all good things come to an end, but I really honestly, I can't bear the thought of Cody Rhodes winning.
Why not?
I I I, I can't. I just can't see him as champ, man. Like, I don't know, man. He just he's just stardust, man. This is. I know that it's the American Nightmare and all of that, but I just can't get over that Cody Rhodes is gonna be WWE champion. Ah. And I'm tired because we've already had this fighting champ with, we spoke about it last time with Seth Rollins, and then Cody's just gonna be the same as well. So we're just gonna have, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't think he'll be the same as Seth. I think Seth was put in a position where he had to be that kind of champion because the World Heavyweight Championship. That see, the thing is, yeah, after the run that Roman has had, you need, if you're going to bring in another world title, it needs to be pushed to another level. It just needs to be pushed heavily every week.
Yeah,
because,
yeah.
Because what he's done with that title is made it, and just like Paul Heyman says and Roman said, there's no one left. So if I'm going to fight you, it has to be monumental. That's the kind of champion that Roman is. And if, let's say, I don't think, obviously we know it's not going to happen, but if Cody, for example, went on a 3-year run and beat everybody, he can't defend at every pay-per-view. It's not possible. You can't.
Yeah.
So,
but do you think that the title, like, obviously once Cody takes the title does it elevate or does it drop in value? Because with Roman right now, as you said, like, no one's left. Like, and we know that with Roman, it was like, all right, you need to beat this guy. You need to beat this guy. And then finally it was like, you need to beat Roman, you need to beat Brock Lesnar. And then we knew to ourselves, like, there's no one left now.
I think he won't. I don't think it goes down in prestige. The thing is, the title is looked at so respectfully and so highly right now that even if Cody does win, the only way it goes down is if they give Cody a shit run with it. That's the only way it goes down. It's the way it's booked. The wrestlers will do as much as they can. Roman in his character is fantastic. Paul Heyman in his character is fantastic, and they have helped elevate the title. But if you gave them awful matches, we would be talking about this run being mid, quite frankly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's about what they do with it. That's why I was saying with Seth. Seth's run for me has been mid. I think people have just said at this point it needs to end because he's done so much with it that what more?
Yeah, he's done enough.
He's done enough. How much further are you going to take this? Whereas with Cody, once he wins the title, I think he is going to. So I'm going to say that now. That's my prediction anyway. If he wins the title, immediately the question is who's going to be next on the list? Who's coming for him? Because it could be The Rock, it could be Kevin Owens, it could be this guy, it could be that guy, it could be Jey Uso. You know what I mean? It could be anybody. It could be Solo Sikoa. Like, Solo Sikoa.
And that's the thing, though. And that's the thing for me is like to be seeing like the likes of Jey Uso, Solo Sikoa. It kind of just gives me more IC title vibes than world title vibes. I'm sorry, man. I'm just seeing the caliber. And I understand why maybe someone like Finn Balor didn't really get that push after his injury to go and get that title, because it's like, we're talking about, when we say the world champion, we need to see these big hitters. You know what I mean?
I hear you. But the unfortunately, it's nothing unfortunately. The wrestling landscape's changed, man. It's changed in the sense of, if you're gonna allow these guys to become world champions, you need to put them in the environment to either sink or swim. So if Jey Uso goes into the world title picture, like his work leading up to the match with Roman was fantastic. Now I think me and you can sit here and say we expected Roman to win anyway, but regardless, in that lead up, it wasn't alien to think of Jey Uso winning the title because the promo work and the lead up was done so well that he was built up to be a challenger to Roman. And quite frankly, the way the match was sold, he would have won if it wasn't for Jimmy. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's like, IC title, I'm not disagreeing with you, but it's like someone like Gunther, for example, after his run, you look at his run, he's been champion for pretty much 2 years with that IC title now. The day he loses it, the next question is, when is he going for the big one? And
Then that's Cody. Then he has to go after Cody.
that's what I'm talking about. At some point,
Yeah.
he's going after Cody. I don't think he loses the IC title until like a
SummerSlam.
SummerSlam. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think he loses that at Mania. I think until a SummerSlam. Unless the only way I think he loses it is if they put Chad Gable into the match with him and Sami Zayn and make it a triple threat. Because I think Chad Gable will get his moment there. If not, then no, I think it'll be
Which
Gunther.
I'm hoping for.
Yeah, me too. But I think it'll be
I'm hoping
Gunther.
for that.
But if yeah, I just think that's the only way now you can build them. Build is such a big thing. Me and you we're old school guys, man. We need character
We need that
development.
bit, yeah.
We need a build up because we don't want to just see a guy who we know is talented just get thrown into it because he's talented. You know what I'm saying? We want to know. We want to feel like he or she, depending on whatever title you're talking about, has had enough work where we can say, yeah, I can see this now. I can see this now, and that's where I trust Triple H because I feel like Triple H can do that. It's like when you compare it to the late Vince years, not the early ones, the late ones where as much as I loved Jinder Mahal becoming WWE champion, where the hell did that come from? Where the hell did that come from?
It's a good build though.
It was a good build, but it came out of nowhere. He was
Yeah.
within a
But you know
month.
what? They caught onto the heat. I think with Jinder, they caught onto the heat very, very well. In terms of his heel aspect, because at that particular time as well, there weren't really much hated heels. None of these new age heels where you're a heel, but you're still getting chanted and all that kind of. He was despised.
Yeah, true.
Winning the title was just added more fuel to like having an out and out heel as world champion, and obviously the whole fact that he's first Indian, right?
Yeah.
Indian champion. And
Oh wait,
WWE.
no. He was second. Great Khali won world heavyweight title, isn't it? Not WWE.
Yeah. That was the WWE title, Universal title. So with that being said, and obviously the WWE's venture out in India as well, so that all coincided well, so that they can present a world champion. So they're smart in what they do, and it fitted very, very well. But I'll come and give my grievances and my opinions about how I'm seeing things with Cody Rhodes, but I know very well that once it becomes the fact that he becomes a world champion, I know that the storylines will fit in and align properly. So that will be what's it called. I wanted to touch on because we haven't spoken about the women's matchups and the landscape of the women's division, but just to touch on Becky Lynch and Nia Jax obviously having was it the last person or last woman? How are we gonna put that? Because we need to be PC at
it was the last woman standing match, man. Come on, man. It was the last woman standing match, man. Let's behave, man. Let's behave. Come on. Let's behave, man.
But anyway, like for a while, I've been thinking, you know what, they need to add Nia Jax to it, but I truly believe the angle right now is to give Becky Lynch more heat to go up against Rhea Ripley, because if you beat a Nia Jax and you're kind of showing your dominance with somebody that is absolutely in her bag in regards to being a dominant figure in the women's division, and you know how I feel about the weight class and all that kind of stuff. I hate seeing the Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax going one on one, and then Nia Jax losing and all that kind of stuff. So that aspect of seeing Becky Lynch beating Nia Jax, I wasn't happy with it, but I understand that you need to build Becky Lynch up so that when she faces Rhea Ripley, there's a bit of believable kind of aspect. Like, you know what, man, I think Becky Lynch might do it. But how are you finding the dynamics right now for that world title, women's world title?
You know what? I'm very, very happy with it, and I'll tell you why. I'm going to comment on that match first, that Becky Lynch Nia Jax match. That was one of the best women's matches you will ever see. If you go back and watch that, it's one of the best you'll ever see, ever. Point blank.
Can I just cut in quickly, just because I'm going to be giving Nia Jax her props till the cows come home. Since she's been back, especially, she has been in her bag.
Top tier.
She has been in her bag. but just continue. I just wanted to shout that out, man. Nia Jax, you're doing your thing.
I'm going to disconnect from the Wi-Fi, right?
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, Nia Jax.
Yeah, no, top tier. Honestly, her work has been brilliant. Again, this is bro. This is what we talk about. It's build. You know, everything is build. She was hated, I think, more so after. Of course, she became a phenomenal heel after she broke Becky's face. But after that, apart from just being hated, they didn't really give her anything to really run with it. And I think that was a bit of her frustration as well. When she left, she had a few interviews where she said, "Look, I was right, factfully as well. I was the hottest heel in any division. I was hated. My music hits, and I'm getting booed out of the building. They don't like me. But what are you doing with me? You know what I'm saying? What are you actually doing with me?" And she's right. I think she's right because she was forgotten about in that big picture. You know, does Becky Lynch actually become the man if she doesn't get her face punched in? I don't think so.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
So this build top
Yeah,
tier, and I'm really happy. That's what I was talking about the match. I was gonna say in that match, neither of them came out a loser. What it showed is Becky Lynch could finally get past her demons with this one person, but also the lengths that she had to go to get past Nia Jax was insane. You know what I'm saying? That's a strong woman.
Good finish as well.
What it means now is exactly, and now what it means is now when she goes to face Rhea Ripley, it's not impossible for her to go and beat Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley's been dominant, which is scary. But now you've built Becky Lynch back up again to be the superstar that she was before she became a heel and became sort of cowardly again. She's now, strong and she's better than ever. That's good. With Nia Jax, where does she go from here? Now you got to make sure she goes to WrestleMania. It's as simple as that. And there's only one person I can think of for that. It's Jade Cargill. Because really, you already started that build at the Royal Rumble when she threw out of the ring. So she's got to be like, I need to get my meal ticket. Who am I going to face at WrestleMania? Let Jade Cargill step in the middle of the ring, do something, and then Nia Jax attack her. Do something like that. Them two can have a mega match just like that, just because you've got you'll call it literally the irresistible force versus the immovable object. You've got it there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm proud of that side. And even, I know whether we go into it as well, the whole Bayley and EO and all those people, like Damage Control being ultra dominant now. Like this time Bayley had help from Naomi and Naomi got dealt with. So now they're gonna
I like EST. You hear what EST said in the back? She goes, "Listen, I don't know if this was a slight jab though." She goes, "But you ain't been here though.
Facts.
Since you were gone, like there's a load of stuff that's happened. Like they might not have been bad. She might not have been bad to you, but when you was gone, she was terrible. So I'm not really feeling sorry for her. You know what I mean?
Facts.
And that's facts.
Facts. But even in that one as well, now you could have Bianca, because Bianca hasn't really got anything happening for her right now.
I know, bro. She just needs to turn, man. I'm not.
Well, what I was gonna say is not for her to join Damage Control, but even if Bayley wins the title, because Bayley's a face now. If Bayley wins the title, and then Bianca goes, "All right, cool, I'm coming after you," but why are you and the fans? Why are you feeling sorry for her? That's where you can turn her. It's there.
Good.
It's there.
I like that.
The seeds are planting because she said to Naomi before, normal face Becky Lynch would like she helped Charlotte. Her and Charlotte went back and forth for time. She went back and forth with Becky. She helped Becky. With this one, this is different. I don't want to help her. What am I helping her for? Forget me. Why are you helping her?
And why are people loving her so much now?
Yeah, what is that? What's going on?
I'm here busting my gut. Putting in the work week in, week out.
For you guys. And you're cheering her now. For what reason?
Yeah. Hey, Triple H, man. All out Kojo quickly, man. You write these scripts.
and this is where the fans can feed in as well, in my opinion. Because if you have a promo where if Bianca Bel Air interrupts Bayley and the fans boo Bianca Bel Air, that adds to it. Don't cheer both of them. Boo one of them and say, "We want Bayley as champion. We don't want you as champion." Trigger her.
Yeah.
Trigger her. and then you can make that heel turn happen. And she won't be the stereotypical black woman that Vince McMahon wanted her to be, to take the earrings off and beat people up. But
She probably
even if
would
she
do
wanted
that,
to
but
do
that's the
that,
character.
yeah, but even if she wanted to do that, she'd be damn good at it. That's
Yeah.
how good she. The woman is actually a very good character and wrestler. We just want her to change to the other side. That's what it is.
Right.
That's what.
Do you know how I see it as well? I see it more like, you know, when they congratulate the like next episode of what they're on SmackDown, right? They're on SmackDown.
Yeah.
So she wins the title. They come out to the ring. Bayley's obviously celebrating she won the title. EST comes out, you know, raises her hand or whatever. Bayley's about to leave the ring or whatever. Boom in the back.
In the words of The Rock back in the day, cacao. Give him a cacao. You know what I mean?
And then it's like, oh, what's going on? And then she, you know, explains herself, as you said, you like cheering for her. I put in all this work. Like, I don't trust her. You know, that angle of like, I still don't trust her. She put me through all of that. That will work out, man. Now that I'm seeing a women's division like this, I'm getting a bit more excited because before I was just like, where are the stories? What's cooking right now? But there is stuff simmering. There is stuff simmering, man.
Yeah, man.
Oh, crazy. All right, so we've got Friday SmackDown. So for guys, obviously, if you do watch it weekly, we've got Friday SmackDown, and then Monday will be Raw. So I believe we're how many days now away from WrestleMania? Maybe about a week or 2 weeks,
2 or 3
maybe?
weeks. Wait, I'm back. It's 2 weeks time, yeah, because I'm back on the weekend that it's coming on. Yeah.
Okay, so 2 weeks left. Road to WrestleMania. It is still, you know, cooking, as we always say here. So 2 more weeks of back and forth. The war of words will continue. I thought by now probably would have been seen a bit of ring action, especially from The Rock, but I guess he's saving himself. Yeah, we don't.
In the words of Kevin Owens, back I'm not talking about prime heel Kevin Owens, prize fighter. We don't fight on normal shows, my guy.
Yeah.
If you want to see me, come and see me on premium live events. We don't.
Yeah.
Chill, man. Take it easy, man.
Yeah, we don't need to see that. Yeah,
we're seeing
let it simmer. I'm with that as well. Let it simmer. We don't need to see any back and forths like in terms of the physical aspect. Let's get the war of words and see where we go from here. I'm gonna save this for the back end of the show, and I know that you might be slightly disappointed by this, but your guy, if you guys don't know, Kojo is a big, massive John Cena fan. There's a clip of us who went to watch Money in the Bank, and when John Cena came out for a surprise, appearance, Kojo went off on one. So that's how I know that Kojo is a big John Cena fan. But just to get a few words from you, because we don't need to touch on it wholeheartedly, but your boy out here, he's showing his ass. He's doing a madness for that bag, for that Hollywood bag. John Cena spotted at the Oscars, basically butt naked. What's your boy doing, man?
I have no clue, man. I have no clue. Let me just say this here. Let me just say this. I can't lie. When we started the show, I thought you were gonna start with this. So people get hands off with.
You know what? I think John Cena was really thinking that you can't see me.
boy,
you're not that invisible, bro.
There is, yeah. I'm gonna say it like this. What we saw, because he covered the most important part, which I didn't want to see. Hello, kiddo. Which I didn't want to see, and I think you didn't want to see, and everybody else didn't want to see. We've seen this guy wrestle topless for pretty much 20 years, so and in knee pads and jorts. So I'm not even saying I'm okay with it. I'm just saying I'm satisfied that I didn't see anything else but what I've seen. That's it. That's as far as I'm going with that. But please don't do that again. Do not do that again.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, yeah, I know this movie that he's in is supposed to be. I haven't watched it yet, but from what I've heard about reviews and stuff, it's supposed to be a good movie, but also it's not even a bit. It's very ridiculous. It's very extreme. You know what I mean? But if you've clocked his career so far, apart from maybe 2 or 3 comedies and being Peacemaker or whatever it's called, he's been in some very raunchy shows or movies. It's been a bit. I don't know. I don't know if Hollywood just sees that as his forte. Sort of like, yeah, sort of like Jason Statham. You would never put him in anything else but an action movie. That's just his lane. I don't know if they see that for him, but yeah, man, just don't do that again. Don't do that again. You're my guy. It's one of them ones, yeah. If me and him were boys and I had him on WhatsApp, I would have messaged him and said, bro, just don't, don't. One time's enough. Don't ever do that again, my guy.
Well, one thing I would say about Cena right now, it seems a tad bit desperate, but listen, if this is the path that he wants to go down, he's not the first person that we've seen like transition from WWE or wrestling in general to Hollywood and having to maybe put themselves in a bit of compromising positions, all of these things that they do.
I guess what I was saying, it's not in his defense, but I'd just say I guess it depends on what you find is a defining role. Because quite frankly, I don't think John Cena's had a defining role yet in a movie where you say, "Wow," you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
He tried
Fast and Furious.
Yeah, like we've all criticized Fast and Furious because quite frankly, it's ridiculous at this point. I mean, what's his name? Vin Diesel's pretty much Goku. He gets hit by a whole flipping dam and he's still alive, but The Rock is part of a franchise that will live forever. That franchise lives forever. Yeah. Batista became part of the Marvel universe. So he's in a franchise that lives forever. He's known as Drax. He can do anything else. And it's not even a bad thing because you can do so many movies. If people still know you as Drax, if it's the fact that you are the main character. So if someone there takes onto that role in the future, they're looking at you as the comparison. You know what I'm saying? You are that person in that movie. So whoever's taking your role needs to do it better. And if they don't do it better, immediately heat's on their neck. John Cena needs to find that role.
But does it need to get to the point? Because we didn't, The Rock wasn't up there. The Rock didn't need to do that. Batista didn't need to do that. Hulk Hogan didn't need to do that.
John Cena didn't need to do that. So I don't know why the hell he did it. So that's what I'm telling him. Find your defining role and do not do that again. That's what I'm telling him.
Then they dressed him up in these curtains.
Bro, he was one African print away from looking like he's going to a Ghanaian funeral. That's how far that's how close he was. That's how close he was. You've seen it. Everyone's seen the Ghanaian traditionals where the uncles wear the thing where they have to hold it. They got the sandals. He had the sandals on already. He was this close. African print, and he's going to a Ghanaian funeral. He's chopping John off at a funeral, bro. He needs to behave himself, man.
Oh man, listen. I know we could go on for yonks and years when it comes to this wrestling thing. Any final thoughts?
Just everyone enjoy the ride. I'll keep saying this every week, man. Enjoy the ride because we're in a great time to watch wrestling right now. And dare I say, even the other guys, I watched their content this week, and I can actually see storyline building and character work. It's amazing. It's amazing what happens when you actually look at the other side and say, they're making a lot more money now, filling out their stadiums. Maybe we should do the same thing. There's no shame being WWE 2. There's actually no shame in it. Make your money. Shame. This is what you're in things for. Because when you guys thought you're wavy, you went to do competition. You beat the developmental brand and you're bragging about it for weeks. No one cares about that. If you want to be the big dogs, you want to start making money and fill out your stadiums, you've got to do what you got to do, my guy. They even just got to be just better than NXT, because I'm watching NXT there and I'm seeing Trick Williams versus Carmelo. I'm seeing their storyline the way it's developing. NXT's fantastic, bro. NXT's fantastic. It's fantastic TV.
Trick Williams there at their lips in that can't remember her name, but
Lash Legend. Apparently that's his actual girl. So shout out him.
Oh, is it?
Apparently so. Yeah.
I knew there was something behind the scenes, man. But yeah, man, loving what's going on now. And Kojo's right. Like, listen, it's a brilliant time to watch wrestling, because if you're an old kind of wrestling head, you got The Rock obviously bringing back that nostalgia kind of feel. If you're a new wrestling head, then obviously you're getting to see all of the characters that we've got nowadays. I would implore you to go and watch NXT, because those are the ones that are coming through next. Smackdown, Raw, still doing their thing. So that's the old age question for us here, man. Do you still watch wrestling? We do, for sure. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of our shows here. And until the next time on Do You Still Watch Wrestling, myself, Dashiki Dash and Kojo, we are out.